even down in Santa Fe. Because if it's good enough for Taos, it's good enough for the whole state. Stand up, be proud, and be loud. I organize progressives all the time. Your turn.
Talking to Mercedes, can you hear me there?
Yeah, it's not on, but
There you go. Thank you so much. I just got a text from the author of those 800 petitions that exist out there. And she
900.
just, 900? And she just told me that she's going to be on our side after some of this information that was.
We gotta talk, because I think I might have flipped her.
So we've got a couple of individuals that are coming back, Mercedes. That's a good sign. And the more we disclose some of that information, we certainly give you a lot of credit, you and your staff, and Will and Jillian out there. There you go. And, just keep on trucking. We'll get lots of information.
thank you.
Hi, my name is Tanya, and we've only been here a few years, but my mother is a Gonzalez de Valerio, so I grew up coming here. And I'm not going to lie, I'm in a group chat right now trying to educate them. They're all against this, and I'm here to learn. I don't have a side. I think we're all in this together regardless of how we feel about it. But they keep bringing up about water getting toxins. What would be your response to them? Because I would like to make them more aware, and I've already scolded them that they should be here learning themselves.
Absolutely, and I think that if we had Will, the microphone as well, and Jillian's got a lot to say about this, but, the thing about it, again, is we live in this community. My staff, our partners, we're all a part of this community. We want to make sure and keep this community safe. We don't want to bring any toxins to our water. We drink the same water, so we would never move forward in something that is going to cause that, okay? But there is, we are abiding by all the regulation. We are receiving all the permits that are needed. We are looking at wastewater systems. We are looking at cleaning and reusing the water. So everything in advanced technology is being looked at, and we are addressing all issues, okay? That you hear that there's 150 gallons of water being used for each carcass. That one beef can feed a family of 4 for a year or more. Okay, and when you look at statistics that Jillian keeps bringing up and mentioning about the use in restaurants, hotels, and all of the industry, again, one beef will feed a family of 4, probably longer than a year. Andy, what do you think? Probably longer than a year. Okay, so.
Yeah, so like Mercedes said, it's going to have its own wastewater treatment plant. It's not going to be hooked up to the town sewers. My understanding, it would be its own holding tank or septic.
Correct.
And so in that regard, it's the same as all of the houses that are out in that direction that have septics.
It's totally
yeah, you're pretty much in that kind of environment where the aquifer is on that side of the valley. You're not going to have any contact between whatever's going on at a local septic scale and any kind of underground aquifers. And additionally, when we think about sedimentation and the main threats to water quality in New Mexico, it's non-point source pollution. It's erosion. It's sediment. I'll put them on blast right now. The Ski Valley's construction projects up there. Go up there and take a look at all the stuff running down from all that construction. So, having a wastewater plan in place, having that kind of separation from aquifers, that's not really going to be a concern. And these kind of scale of processors, I don't think that kind of concern really comes up. It's a non-issue.
Absolutely. There's this young lady that has been waiting for a day in green down here.
I'll see if I can do it without.
Thank you for coming. Have a good evening.
Hi there. Hi. My name's Leanna. Since you're anticipating like a fall-ish opening, have you considered wild game? Is that something that's possible for the processing, or that's out?
It's not.
Okay.
I mean, it can be a possibility down the line, but because of the USDA inspection that's going to happen and all the regulation we have to abide by, we can't do any wild game within the same days. So we're going to concentrate to,
Yeah, that I totally get that.
Yeah.
Does that mean then that all animals that are processed there need to be brought there alive to be fully, completely?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And then also also it's like a two-part kind of question. I'm just kind of wondering about the USDA like retail aspect of the meat that the farmers, ranchers bring in and are able to resell. Is that going to be like a two-stage thing where if you're just bringing it in for your family to eat, it's like a lower cost, or you have to pay more to have it be able to be sold at retail? Like, how would that work?
John has his hand
So,
up.
USDA inspected meat, I'm fine, I'm pretty loud. USDA inspected meat means that you can sell that meat to the public. Okay, so there's a couple different ways when you go into these plants. If you're doing it for your own consumption, then that processor is gonna label that for private use, not for sale, something like that. If it's a USDA inspected beef, then somebody brought up hanging time. Unfortunately, if you're USDA, they tell you how long you get to hang the meat. No, it is. That inspector can decide on any given time when he checks those carcasses whether something needs to be processed or not. Now, in grass-fed versus grain-fed, there's a big difference on hang times and stuff like that. But basically, that's a USDA inspected plant. Gives everybody in this room that raises cows, sheep, pigs, whatever it is, goats, it gives all of us an opportunity to sell our products locally. So I can get a USDA stamp of approval and sell it right here. Whereas it is right now.
Or to SIDS, or to.
Oh, yeah, to grocery stores, to restaurants, to, yeah.
Make some money in it.
Exactly.
And
Keep the
so
money
in
in our-
addition to that, if to your question about the cost, it really doesn't, because the inspector, the USDA inspector is of no cost to
I
us.
was
It's a
wondering if there were
scheduling.
like
But
two tiers. If you knew you weren't planning on selling your
Right.
stuff retail, if you could like opt out of.
So here's where I see that can come into play and we can do something about it. Those people who process personally for personal consumption, we'd probably be able to process more of those faster because we don't have to depend on the one USDA inspector
Right.
coming in to inspect, And so I know, so it really is going to be able to allow that. It's the same inspect at the same facility. We're going to operate in the same fashion. Like John is saying, the USDA inspection is opening the retail and the wholesale side of things. That you want to feed your family, then same sanitary, same process. We're going to abide by the belief anyway. We sanitation, respect it. So. You have a microphone, or are you allowed to?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
My name's Rick Allison, and I have a ranch just south of Costilla. It's called Ute Mountain Farms. My family's been up there since 1960. It was a potato farm, and we started running cattle 20 years ago. Anyway, John and I will have the argument later about how the hang time. I process 3 steers a month, and it's based on demand. I can process a lot more, but most of my beef goes to Denver. I do a couple restaurants here in Taos, and then we do quite a bit out in Angel Fire and Eagle Nest. And we practice holistic range management as well. Been doing that for a while. I've got Alan Savory's Bible that a neighbor told me about. Anyway, what I would suggest, mine go to Colorado, and there's a USDA plant that I go to in Westcliff. There's a commercial one where it's not for sale, personal use that I sell to individuals. That is not USDA. Both are extremely clean, and if you have questions about anything, those people will give you a tour of their plant. They're extremely clean. No smell, and they process quite a bit throughout the year. And the way they do it, it's quite an intense schedule. They always keep the freezers full. And they hang for me 21 days. And that's what's critical for me, because mine are grass-fed and grass-finished. And 10 days just doesn't cut it. It's going to be tough. And so we hang for 21 days. So if you know, if you have any questions about, you know, the processing and the marketing and whatnot, I mean, I'd rather spend that $3,000 to $4,000 a month in Taos than Colorado.
Right.
But there's just nothing around here, so, you know, I'm all for the processing plant here, and you know, as far as the Facebook thing, I think it's one of the most evil pieces of technology that was ever created, but I understand the enemy uses it.
No, it's not just the enemy. This town relies a lot on Facebook.
Yeah, that's how we have, how we communicate.
More than anywhere.
My name's Andy Romero. I think you've done your due diligence. I don't agree with this trying to change other people's opinions at all, because they could never change mine as far as my lifestyle and what I do. So I think since you've done your due diligence, just plant those feet, let's just go forward. $4,000 a month, you'll be making, you know, all this stuff works for us, making us a sustainable community. So opinionated in Taos, I love it.
You know that.
Let's go forward.
My name's Virgil Martinez, and I've been a rancher up in northern part of the county here, and we need to work all together on this organization that we're trying to do, because we have put a lot of hours into get this thing funded and move forward. You know, when we first started, we even invited the Cuesta Economic Development, that Chevron money that they were putting out there. They never even listened to this kind of a meeting. You know, they kind of threw it to the side. So we continue trying to get other federal programs, and so that's why we had to get Taos County involved, and we were moving forward on it. But the thing is that now that we have the thing going in the right direction, these people that are against us, we need to have them join us and work with us. And we probably can give them 2 seats in our board, because we don't want to fail. That's something we don't want to do. We don't want to fail, because it would cost us a lot of money if we fail. You know, the reason that we done all this is even to hold our tax values down. That some people probably don't understand on the tax value, but if it wouldn't be for the ranching and farming, our tax values won't be where they're at today. So those are things that we need to really consider and work together with one another and move forward. But if we start listening to people like in the Taos News, we're gonna fail. You know, because they don't have nothing good to say to this community. Everything's a negative or starting a war. You know, we don't need to start any wars or start any problems. We need to work together. But and also, you know, I got some facilities up north that we're not going to bring all the livestock over here in one day and start killing livestock. You know, I got facilities over there that we're going to probably leave them there for a week, make sure that they're clean before they start getting butchered, and we're going to have probably another facility here in Taos, another facility up in the Peñasco area, you know, for people from different directions. That way we have a schedule of who's coming in on what list. Because like you guys say, we're lucky we'll be able to get 50 a week. You know, and we're very lucky. But we need to start somewhere, and if we all work together, I am willing to help you guys more and more. But I just don't want to be wasting my time coming from up north to meetings over here and started fighting the Taos News. You know, I done that for 8 years in a row when I was a county commissioner, and the Taos News to me was a headache. You know, because they never done nothing to improve the community. And we need to work together in this community as far as we can. So, and I'm open for questions. If you have any questions, I'm open for questions, because I like to answer for some of those reasons that you probably need to know an answer.
Did you say you approached the Cuesta Economic Development Fund about this Matanza, bringing the Matanza to Cuesta?
We approached them at one time for them to come to our meeting, and they never showed up. It was the thing of the COVID and all this and that. So we weren't able to get nowhere, okay? And they have an area over there that they call it a park, that they could open up a business. But I don't see nothing. We had a lobbyist from that area to kind of help us get money. I showed up to one of the meetings in Cuesta at the village council one night, and he was there. We weren't even in the agenda. You know, that was pretty sad. When I met him there, I started talking to him on the hallway. The girl went out and said, "You guys better keep the low boys or get out of here." Because I told him, "Why are you wasting my time? We're not even in the agenda." You know, and that's the kind of thing that we have to really work together, because it took a big effort from Merced and the organization here, from the mayor, you know, that they were giving this support. And it's not only for some individuals here, it's for the whole county.
Exactly, and we do have representation for you guys now. Rachel Villalpando comes from the Costilla area, and she's made it a point herself to make sure and recruit some of the farmers and the ranchers from there. We have representation here right now because of her. You know, so she is going to be out there. And again, it is for the entire county. You know, it is for all of the residents. You know, there isn't a certain few or the gifted, you know. So thank you for your comments, Rachel. Who has the microphone?
Question. The gentleman from Ute Mountain Ranch, he brought up a very good point in that as you guys are, again, finalizing your business model, I would hope or like that you guys would consider maybe, being able to age longer at a cost. For instance, like if I wanted to age that 21 days and I'm willing to pay for it, if that could be something that is an option. Again, quality of your beef goes way up if you can age it.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely, and it's that type of input that we need, moving forward to be able to satisfy the need, so we want that back from Colorado, so absolutely, that is why the Matanza committee is being put into place. That's why all of the opinions are going to be taken into consideration, and the business plan is being developed. I mean, I don't know that everybody knows, but Lucas Salazar is who our facility manager is going to be. He runs his successful business out of Manassa, Colorado. So, he is, a force to be reckoned with. Best thing I like about him is his easy nature, He comes from for-profit, so he knows how to penny pinch, but he doesn't cut corners. So he is all about the regulation, so with him being, for-profit and having to measure his water and be, really conservative with the water that he uses and how he, reuses water. I mean, all of those things are being taken into place. One of the best things about Lucas is staff. He wants to make that commitment to his people. He knows that this is a hard job. He knows that not everybody's going to step up to the plate to be a meat processor, so he wants to, build in incentives to be able to keep the workforce. If we're going to take the time to train people, then we need to have adequate wages for that sector. People need to be recognized for that talent. They're saying out there that we're bringing people in from outside. We have the talent in-house. So housing is not going to be a problem because they're already here, So the TCEDC commits to hiring locally. TCEDC commits to education, for the staff and the team members. So we will, be planning this facility out with safety in mind for the workers as well. Mental health was brought up in another meeting. Absolutely. Farming and ranching and mental health has always been an issue, and it's never been addressed. It's never been looked at. So all of those are parts of our project. So thank you guys. Who has the...
I was wondering, we were talking, since there are several steps and there's things that are in place, is there a PowerPoint of some kind? Is there something that lists, this is the facility, this is the corral, this is how many goats and sheep and cows. And here's how many employees, here's how long they hang in the freezer, here's where the wastewater goes.
Absolutely. So this fact sheet that I talk about is a work in progress. So as we get the facts and as we build that out, then that fact sheet is going to be updated. We do have the facility layout already, so the layout is there. It can be shared. I'll have Patty post it, and can be shared out. That is the way it was designed. That is the way we're looking to move forward with. Again, as we approach and as we're going for permitting and licensing and all the hoopla, then this fact sheet will be updated. Right now, there's 2 units out there. They're already on their stem walls. We've got the mobile slaughter unit ready to go. And now we have to, plan the rest of the facility out. Our plan right now is utilities. We need to get utilities out there, and so as that moves along, then we'll move forward. The people that we're working